Tende Teji Sheba Jajumba Yandaba Sobe Sangye Reba Dan Shapsu Den Dewa Sheba Jiden Kemba Kewo Due Kalo Gyewa Lana Me Lada Me Nange Dunba Sangye Chumden De Begyawa Shakya Tuba La Shasu Chudu Gyasu Chivu Chumden De Teji Sheba Jajumba Yandaba Sobe Sangye Reba Dan Shapsu Denba Gyewo Due Kalo Gyewa Lana Me Ba Lada Me Nange Dunba Sangye Chumden Begyawa Shakya Tuba La Chasu Lo Chudu Gyasu Chivu Chumden De Teji Sheba Jajumba Yandaba Sobe Sangye Reba Dan Shapsu Denba Dewa Sheba Jiden Gyewo Due Kalo Gyewa Lana Me Ba Lada Me Nange Dunba Sangye Chumden Begyawa Shakya Tuba La Chasu Lo Chudu Gyasu Chivu Zuo Ke Dam Se Sa Chen De La Dunba Dunbo Ne Ka Ni Ji Den Shu Na Chu Ji Su Ke Se Ke Ba Ke La Cha Zo Lo Chang Da Gu Nga Chu Du Su Sang Wo Yi Xin Gyang Su Se Ge Hong Bo Zha Cha Ba Ji De Sum Na La Me Wa Gong Bo Chu Ne Ke La Cha Zo Lo Cai Xiao Den Ba Ji Me Da Wei Xia Ke Da Zhang Wa Ke La Cha Zo Lo De De Ke Da Si Ba Sum Ma Qi Nyang Men Ke Jie Ke La Cha Zo Lo Gong Bo Tu Ji Qi Den Ba Tam Ji Gen Be Dun Ba Bu So Na Yen Den Gya Su Xin Te Jin Xia La Cha Zo Lo Ta Be De Cha Che Wai Kyu Ge Wei Ngen Song Le Zhe Jin Qi Du Tun Dan Xi Gyu Ba Qi Gyu Che La Cha Zo Lo Chu Ne Zhe Wei Lam Yang De Rab Du Ne Xin Ge Tam Ba Yun Den Den Ge De La Yang Cha Zo Lo Di Ba Ji Yang Mi Sha Xin Ge Wa Pun Song Co Ba Qie Rang Ge Sem Nie Yong Su Du Di Ne Sang Ge Den Ba Yin Ga Ma Rab Re Ma Me Da Gyu Ma Si Wa Xu Bu Da Mi Lam Lo Dan Jin Da Bu Du Jie Chi Nan De Da Da So Nam Di Ye Chang Jie Si Ba Ye Ko Wang To Ne Gyun Ge Zha Du De Ga Da Na Da Chi Wei Lab Zhu Be Si Be So Le Zhu Wa Zhu Wei Shu Cha Zo Lo Di Ge Da Ge To Ba Tu Ji Na Chun De Ne Kya Bu Ka Xia He Pu Mo Jin Ge Lang Ge Gen Dun Shen Bo Tang Chang Xiu Sen Bei Gen Dun Shen Bo Tang Tao Ji Du Shu He Se Chum Den De Sam Mo Nang Wa Xie Cha Wei Chu Ge Nam Zhang Ge Ding Ye Zin La Nyang Ba Shu Yang Te Se Shang Ju Sen Ba Shen Bo Pa Ba Che Re Chu Xie Ra Ge Pa Ru Du Chen Ba Sam Mo Zhen Ba Ni La Nam Ba Ra Ta Pu Mo Nga Bo Te Da La Yang Ra Xin Ge Dong Ba Nam Ba Ra Ta Wo Te Ne Sang Ge Ge Tu Se Dan Den Ba Sha Ri Bu Chang Ju San Ba Chen Bo Pa Ba Chen Re Zi Wang Chu La Ri Ge Po Kang La La Shi Ra Ge Pa Ru Du Chen Ba Sam Mo Chu Ba Du Ba Te Chi Da La Ba Cha Te Ge Je Me Ba Tang Chang Ju San Ba Chen Bo Pa Ba Chen Re Zi Wang Chu Ye Se Dan Den Sha Ra Ta Ti Pu La Ti Ge Je Me So Sha Ri Pu Ri Ge Pu Am Ri Ge Pu Mo Kang La La Shi Ra Ge Pa Ru Du Chen Sam Mo Che Ba Du Ba Te Ti Da Nam Ba Ra Da Wa Cha Te Pu Mo Nga Bo Te Da Yang Ra Xin Ge Dong Ba Nam Ba Yang Da Ba Ji Su Da Wo Su Dong Ba Wo Dong Ba Ni Su So Su Le Dong Ba Ni Xian Mai Dong Ba Li Le Gyang Su Xuan Ma Yin No Te Xin Du Co Wa Dang Du Xian Ge Jie Dang Nam Ba Xie Ba Nang Dong Ba Wo Xia Ri Bu Te Da Re Che Tam Jie Dong Ba Ni Ce Nie Me Ba Ma Ge Ba Ma Ga Ba Chi Ma Me Ba Chi Ma Dang Che Wa Me Kang Wa Me Ba Wo Xia Ri Bu Te Da Wei Na Dong Ba Ni La Su Me Co Wa Me Du Xian 都见南无南无舍巴美咪美那哇美那美切美鲁美一美苏美扎一美若美瑞加美却美多米给康美巴内一给康美那一上巴些给康给帕多扬美多马瑞巴美马瑞巴塞巴美巴卡西美卡西塞佩帕多扬美多提心多东安我当公中我可巴当拉美一些美托巴美马托巴扬美托夏日布那为那强修三巴那托巴美贝切尔切拉给帕罗多亲巴对今内的三拉这巴美金抓巴美的新修罗的新多的两眼来的贝他尔全都推送都能把它修贝商业他们这两给帕罗多亲巴拉的呢拉那美巴杨道巴做贝强修红巴做巴商给所贴他为那切拉给帕罗多亲贝啊为巴亲贝啊明年巴达娘贝啊东亚他们这拉多西瓦切贝啊米尊贝那西巴下的西拉给帕罗多亲贝啊美巴达利亚他嘎德嘎德巴拉桑嘎德波迪梭哈夏日波强修三巴全部贴到西拉给帕罗多亲萨摩拉拉巴乔乌天内中点的定义性贴来现的强修三巴全阿巴今内真往出拉雷索谢乔瓦今内雷索瑞给普贴心瑞给普贴心的其他科给等巴心多西拉给帕罗多亲萨摩就贴心些巴南江去是伊拉我中点的给贴给这嘎子呢自然等巴沙拉特贴普的就三巴全部帕巴今内真往出当他们这当等被扩贴阿弥达拉巴引导持萨杰贝吉德伊朗的中点的给松巴拉我巴得托这边内就当巴内我些组织康为土多建筑巴波拉马耶普信息内松佐拉乔佐罗阿卡萨巴拉扎沙达拉萨马拉
阿嘎萨玛拉扎香达拉萨玛拉呀贝呀他嘎德巴拉桑嘎德波提梭哈所以嘎耶德米多耶切多巴觉贝巴觉是巴扎耶帕杰米吞贝丘林眼巴他杰香丁咕噜耶梭哈给就西瓦达米的那贝给当拆瓦达通巴主角普松错就贝扎西给天的的雷如，巴日萨维拉玛仁波切达吉吉沃贝德德修拉，阿真千波古内吉苏特古苏托耶我如萨多萨。古松托耶罗则多所真巴娘美顿巴兄弟要萨汤巴吉斯米盘个要为龙殿帕巴托美沙桑耶上生苏玛苏瓦的昂耶上生苏玛苏瓦的藏林克图耶一吉年乌美朗年帕巴nam着的特上的吉的吉的米吉苏拉苏瓦的吉的米吉苏拉苏瓦的米就我那个秋叶的萨摩朗耶个家nam着的老先学贝的个那子周围扎拉苏拉苏瓦的周围萨拉苏拉苏瓦的老秋谢谢天将相交为美阿坤金库萨里周坤세为谢金给我见周围的本苏拉苏瓦的周围的本苏拉苏瓦的 长久图拉阿涅斯利巴，心大全部世界马梅子。南巴仁波切，天别所见松拉所瓦呢，天别所见松拉所瓦呢，我马瓦达梅追求下给多，亚维看拉坤多将贝扬，萨姆吞西帕丘鲁罗夏马维苏。马维苏耶松拉苏瓦的帕贝贡巴，塞塞达瓦查特塞图瓦日贝库修谢，亚塞日贝库修尼贝沙日贝王修。松拉苏瓦的日贝王修松拉苏瓦的，天天萨摩西西西巴伊辛达什，色界马梅子拉萨色界顿巴仁波切，藏尼根尤尼拉苏瓦的，藏尼根尼拉苏瓦的，我内就王修本登公巴瓦萨姆丁西。天贝努苏巴杜维的努kun吉塔玛巴，塔国准美松拉苏瓦的塔国准美松。苏瓦的尊巴朱巴鲁勒南塞夏，唐贝辛拉南卡亚布达，吉德却耶邦贝森耶萨，亚塞桑布夏拉苏瓦的，亚塞桑布夏拉苏瓦的，长修图伊。罗古红普西西哈贝哈耶杰苏辛给拉尼多罗瓦真贝谢涅丘南卡亚塞夏拉苏瓦的南卡亚塞夏拉苏瓦的文亚维东措谢涅波多瓦南全真扎这位夏拉瓦长修图耶嘎巴谢嘎。周围瑞公松拉苏瓦的，周围瑞公松拉苏瓦的，容多阿达长生切古玛，追美龙叶王丘，开贝丘康松周围公波仁波切，内全波松拉苏瓦的，内殿全波松拉苏瓦的，南达苏真阿达切贝巴，木达蓬德阿达索那瓦。全文亚次他斯门扎巴，周围真巴松拉苏瓦的，周围真巴松拉苏瓦的，萨金亚切切拉玛涅贝，kunye kya su yu chine sambu tenpa ye se ba bende la me sha la so wa de bende la me sha la so wa de wo zhu be wang qiu chen bo su zhen chen nian zu xuan den ze shen nu pe xiao lam ye qiu xiang ye gong xiang yao wei se bo sum la so wa de yao wei se bo sum la so wa de me xiu yen de le zhen sang ye bu tang bei xin la nam ka ya bu da ji den quan ye bang bei sen ye sang ya se sang bu sha la so wa de ya se sang bu sha la so wa de康丘通业周公普贤行，他一切所经业了，你得周瓦真贝千年秋，南港要在松拉所瓦。南港也在小拉所瓦的绵绵微微的千千人心，王波将北洋康健给北祖言松卡巴。罗桑茶贝小拉所瓦的罗桑茶贝小拉所瓦。 我的主被王修将被感受。天若马为你马给了呗，天就那为出现把所见，大美拉玛松拉所我的，大美拉玛松拉所我的，松就古尼，这见多见当古松我要瓦萨巴，龙东阿达桑的一切下，天若千波松拉。所我的，给我千波松拉所我的，罗桑全给要在北京，跟着要在下，拉萨在罗桑也些的，接着拉玛松拉所我的，接着拉玛松拉所我的，土登北在阿瓦张巴。土在罗萨念着下，亚佐他厄云的他耶啊，听见拉玛松拉所我的，听见拉玛松拉所我的，罗萨耶些天巴让耶节，罗着桑布主古能着在，罗萨要为学做今天把松梅拉玛松拉所我的。松梅拉玛松拉所我的，叫桑南西北龙多的，切着你给真兰当着我，阿这娘们早为拉玛拉，古松个巴全部所我的，古松个巴全部所我的。马特当巴拉小为经过来给，人年学被人当所念想，要上都这么想滚的呢，天天开着小拉所玩的，天天开着小拉所玩的，特孙讲的，马勒的美国罗桑江北来些着耶稣。大孙有人横着加速度，天见主古拉所我的，天见主被古拉所我的，强巴村拉所帕诺给头有来当教的真辈子，那些天的加速不见根，用家觉子拉玛拉所我。用脚接着拉玛拉所我的罗桑教，公业也是你基督之名教的真别错，大家经过要做主的个，听见拉美下拉所我的。听见拉美下拉所我的阿瓦罗桑，要在你不所听见要在拉美。那个网友从把没背的，拉所我的，那么周围的拉所我的，没就落着，上不要为的，别拉姐妹当着去给接。给我个也蒙特诺不求，他也都也跟拉所我的，他也都也跟拉所我的，让将送让古拉大为民，给上他把准备就我求，这也有被他给在半夜，现在些年他拉所我的，现在些年他拉所我。反正拉美那巴他巴拉给接上老巴米给西，真正的巴同为门根给拉美亲拉三拉就白说。
You read the English.
Foundation good qualities. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind, venerable Guru. 我愿的公业是个真真真，祖先的巴拉耶萨瓦，来巴托呢，白巴图玛耶，格巴什波 Yupa Shimbu Tenpara Shingi Lo Lenji Nyebe Tewe Tensan Shindu Nyeba Toje Shegyurane Zen Kundu Nyingbo Lembe Lo Yumje Meba Kewa Shingi Lo Yumje Meba Kewa Shingi Lo Luso Yowa Chuye Chuburu Shenyudu Jebe Chewa Chembada Chiwe Jesu Luta Chema Shikana Lende Chiche Changwa Meba Tembo Nyene Nyebe Sota Che Chawa Namkyam Pongwa Keso Tadan Chubara Chebala Tato Padan Tembara Chingelo Tato Padan Tembara Chingelo Chebe Mingo Dunga Kunji Goyide Miro Sebe Punzo Yeme Reme Tabe Dewa Tenye Chembo Dewa Chingelo Tenye Chembo Dewa Chingelo Namda Samba Deye Changba Ye Tenda Sheshen Ba Ye Chembo Hindembe Zawa Sosoro Tawa Druba Nimbo Chebara Chingelo Druba Nimbo Chebara Chingelo Ranye Setora Lungwa Jijin Dom Yon Jowa Gungan Tenda Tone Jowa Dove Kujeve Changju Semjo Jombara Chingelo Changju Semjo Jombara Chingelo Semzama Jeja Zunjia Namsung La Rumba Mena Changju Mendro Lebara Tone Jase Domba La Zomba Chabe Loba Chingi Zomba Chabe Loba Chingi Yela Yawa Shije Jin Yapa Tola Zushin Jobai Shinye Lando Songdo Deve La Nyudo Gyula Gyewa Jingelo Nyudo Gyula Gyewa Jingelo Tomo Lamjan Do Gyuwana Teba Gunje Chogyo Doje Kazan Gyewa Jungo Tamba Dela Nyudo Jubara Jinge Dela Nyudo Jubara Jinge Lo Tese Mudo Namnye Jube She Namda Tamse Domba Sungwa La Juma Mebe Ngeba Nyegyo Ne Sodan Tude Sungwara Jinge Lo Sodan Tude Sungwara Jinge Lo Ne Gyude Nimbo Rinye Gene Nama Shinje Tongne Tsumba Tuje Nejo Chule Miye Watambe Soshin Drubara Shingi Tambe Soshin Drubara Shingi Lote Tara Namsan Tumbe Shingi Jube Chonam Shade Chedai Nange Badoi Jube Nyewa Shiwa Jingi Ladu So Nyewa Shiwa Jingi Ladu Yewa Kundu Yanda Lama Dantame Shigi Bela Langseji Sada Lamge Yande Razo Nendo Je Changi Kowa Nyodo
Mendra Kato Goju Magoji Goju
O Jingan Boju, Om Baja Bumi, Om Wajen Sege Saji, Om Baja Rege Ahun, Chi Jari Koyogi Kowe Wusu, Riga Borira, Sha Lupa Bo, Lo Zambole, No Palachi, Chan Jami. Lu Dang Du Pa, Nga Yam Da, Nga Yao Shen, Yu Den Lao Cho Zhou, Ta Mi Nian Da, Zhe Mi Nian Gin Da, Ren Po Che, Ri Wo, Pa Sang Gi Xin, Do Je Ba, Ma Mo Pa Ye Lo Tu, Ko Lo Ren Po Che, No Bo Ren Po Che, Tu Mo Ren Po Che, Lon Po Ren Po Che. Lambo Rinpoche, Tasho Rinpoche, Mabu Rinpoche, Tashin Boye Pumba, Ge Ma Shenwa Ma Lu Ma Ka Ma Medo Ma Lu Nazama Trijama Nima Da Wa Rinpoche Do Chole Namba Kyawe Kyase Uzu Lada Mi Penchoro Punsum Soba Ma Sangwa Me Najin Yedu Wawa Dida Chinjin Sawa Dang Yu Ba Jebe Bada Lama Tambana Keba Du Yang Yung Zo Denbe Nga Da Chizi Lo Zang Gya Den Chiri Wang Shu Be Sambo Shen An Keba Chenpo Sung Shu Sammo Shu Wei Yun Du Xin Gang Bu Wa Yu Tu Je Zhu Wei Dun Du Shi Su Su Xin Ni Yang Da Su Zhu Wa Ma Yu Nan Ge Ta Ngan Be Sen Jen Tam Je La Tu Ze Wa Chenpo Gu Ne Jing La Du Su Za Ji Bu Ge Ju
Medashe dambe chunye chene leje she. Aye ge no 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 je ge ro da da me ge no do ro ge je da na je da ma tham je. La ge chu don do. Ma je na ge da da nyam be sen je dam je don de to za na nam ba yong da ba to be son je ko mo mo je chen de to ba cha. De je da dambe chu sen nyam be ko no ko ju ro ma na le ba se ta ne sen ba sho.
So for the sake of all migrators equaling space, oneself must attain by every means the state of full enlightenment, Buddhahood. And in order to achieve this, one should now listen to these teachings. Therefore, please clarify motivation in such a way and listen in such a manner. Yes.
Da jawe sona damje je ne de ba ne chung chung damje ren ba se ya de ji da de la yo ne ye lamje sa wa shin ye den be chor da den ne lo che da jong ye ren ba se ne je mo je ne sab je den de so yin ba ye de lamje sa wa shin ye den be chor da den ne lo che da jong ye ren ba se so yin du lamje sa wa shin ye den cho de da 근데 때는 로 지다 좀 얼마니 못해. 개체 좀 찍어 와서. 어떤지 차 되게 오래. 일단 뭐게 라면도 또 와주지 제발라. 네 신년 된서 때 개체 뭐지? 신년 된서 매나니 또 와지 또 인도 삽지 세동게 그 내가 됐던 용이요.
So the teaching that we'll be listening to is that which contains all the essential points of the scriptures that were said by the conqueror, the Buddha. And this is what we call the graduated path of enlightenment, the Lamrim. And within this, then there are, the outline of the text has two main portions. How to rely upon the virtuous friend, the way of relying upon the virtuous friend, and having relied upon the virtuous friend, how one goes about training one's own mind. So therefore, these two are the major outlines of this text as defined by Lama Tsongkhapa. And so then it places equal, here within this text, Lama Tsongkhapa places equal importance on both these sections. Both these sections are equally important. And since all the realizations of the path, whether one produces the realizations of the path, is entirely dependent upon how well one relies upon the virtuous friend. So therefore, within this outline, it shows the importance of such a practice.
All the essential points of the teachings embodied into one, the Lamrim teaching.
Yes. All essential points of the teachings embodied into one, the Lamrim teachings. Yes.
근데 단juk 거지. 다 단juk 거데네 그게 주 다베드는 님보 냄비스 거봐서 님보 냄도 제약이 제대로 단juk 거사. 단juk 거사면 되고나네 단다. 그래. 니가래나 지난도 탐에 동제 삼네 도면 나와 폰스. 단준이가 와도 삼면 되고나 다데 니가 보인데 attended told the Majona, and the Rajas say, oh, Mare, some the gas at Dr. Maybe some Chagori. Tonje, some not Tomenda Moda, Ton Chimboji, you and the Tommy chooses Ton and Mare, some Belogi, Jane, Tanju, or Cota some you do. Tade new work understand Angor Senani, Jivichu, Drain, Chimbos in the Yumiyachi.
So then, the next section in the outline talks about the this precious human rebirth of leverage opportunities and these various freedoms and endowments. So then it talks about how to extract the essence, the way of extracting essence and meaning from this precious human rebirth. And so here, one thinks about the precious human rebirth as possessing various freedoms as well as various endowments. If one goes about by thinking of how this precious human rebirth is
difficult to obtain, and also possesses great meaning. So when one contemplates about this precious human rebirth being difficult to obtain, to achieve, then if one does not accomplish Dharma practice upon this precious human rebirth, then it is difficult to obtain such a form of rebirth again in the future. So therefore one would engage in practice. And also by remembering how this precious human rebirth possesses great meaning, one would abandon that which is meaningless. So therefore one will, through understanding how this precious human rebirth has such a huge potential, it possesses great meaning, it can accomplish great meaning, great purposes. So therefore one would strive to abandon the meaningless affairs that are not related to Dharma practice and engage sincerely in accomplishing the purposes. So the way of going about to achieve the purposes or the great meanings, and these are divided into three: the path of being practitioners of the lower scope, or beings of the middling scope, and the beings of the higher scope. So then firstly, the path of the beings of the lower scope, how one trains in such a graduated path of practice. And the way of doing that is to generate interest in the benefits of the life in the life after this, in the next life, to generate interest towards benefit in the next life and beyond. So one engages in virtuous practices of virtue that are directed at the welfare of welfare of the next life and beyond above that. So then, in this way, when one trains in this practice, then one begins by firstly remembering, contemplating the death and impermanence, and also reflecting upon the sufferings of the lower realms. And then, upon having done so, then one goes about the actual practice of refuge as well as karma. So the actual practice within this scope is that of refuge and karma. So here we have come upon the section of refuge. Yes. So when one begins practicing refuge, firstly one should understand the two causes of refuge. The first cause is that of fear of rebirth in the lower realms and sufferings of cyclic existence and so forth, the various kinds of suffering. And the second condition is second cause is of faith in the three jewels as possessing the ability to protect us from such sufferings. So if one understands these two causes, then one's practice of refuge becomes perfect. So therefore, in the beginning of one's practice of refuge, one should strive to understand and realize these two causes for refuge. Yes. So the objects of refuge should possess at least the quality of being entirely free from fear themselves. If they are not entirely free from the fear of suffering, then they cannot be seen as qualified objects of refuge. So in this case, if the objects of refuge, such as worldly beings like Indra and Brahma and so forth, despite being incredible gods, but they themselves are not yet free from the fear of cyclic existence. Therefore, they are not fitting objects of refuge. They cannot be the ultimate or the definite refuge, objects of refuge. So therefore, the ultimate objects of refuge are the three jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha jewels. Yes.
연대 12권의 잡선로 체벌 12권의 잡선로 다 개념의 잡선로 제놈만 잡선로 와서 요대 나오게 연대 12권의 잡선로 와서 내 가서 손지 고송투 천년의 집에 연대 근데 주지 연대 견주지 연대 대제자 쉬사가 다 단다 체벌 12권의 잡선로 와서 다 대가도 그래.
So then, having understood the causes of going for refuge, then the actual way of taking refuge, and the way of going for refuge is done through 4 sections: going for refuge by knowing the good qualities, going for refuge by knowing the distinctions, going for refuge through commitment, and going for refuge by refusing to acknowledge other refuges. So in this case, we have covered the first section, which is going for refuge by knowing the good qualities. Here, we talked about the good qualities of the Buddha, specifically referring to the Buddha's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. And then within that, and also the good qualities of the enlightened activities. And then we also talked about the good qualities of the Dharma jewel and the Sangha jewel. And now we have come to the section, going for refuge by knowing the distinctions. Yes.
체벌시비 잡수 송안에 너가는 중앙에 군조송 나 편신지 체벌신의 잡선 로하고 내가 좋을래 전일의 주비 체벌 네 선지군조네 몸부터 선지 선지이나 주군조 대리도 근두군조네 신이명하고 용도 루빈 선지도 이 말이 단데 체벌시비 잡선 로하서야 돼 군조송 나 편신 나 맨날 체벌로 가려고 했으나 도만이 전일의 주비 체벌했어 다 전일의 주방 전이야 롱신 다 지구에서 자기 요인데 군조소 소수고 롱신 간들에서나 세야 이 말이 세나는 손전에 몸발도 봐 손주빈 전이진이나 전이나 랑신이나 이 말다 몸발도 봐 손축 세인도거나 그래다 그 정한 추바세 네 남바담진 쳔바 하세요 하는다 몸발도 봐 산제바세야 돼서 다 단다 시장만 봐 모som도 뒤지자도 습관인자 남바담 용만도 봐 손추바세야 된대 지난주요 다 장 첩세 보게 돈의 샤바지 나는 장세도 드니만 봐 장바 추바세 되는 시장만 봐 도스 추바 나 추바세 된대세죠.
So we come to the section on the root text, page 188. Here we talk about the distinction, going for refuge by knowing the distinctions between the three jewels. So one needs to understand what is the differences between each of the three jewels, what are the primary differences. And so here we talk about the distinction, first section we talk about distinction based on their defining characteristics. So the defining characteristics are basically talking about the nature. What is the nature of each of the three jewels? So simply said is what is the nature of the three jewels. And then so firstly we talk about the nature or the defining characteristic of the Buddha jewel is that it is that of full perfect enlightenment. So the Buddha is a being that has attained full perfect enlightenment. And in Tibetan we call it Changchuk or in Sanskrit Bodhi. So here one refers to the state of omniscience. One can refer to the state of achieving the state of total omniscience. And also being able to see all the objects of knowledge directly and simultaneously without exception. This is the quality of the all total omniscient mind. And also the word Changchup in Tibetan has two portions, Chang and Chup. Chang refers to the state of whereby the Buddha is totally purified all the two obscurations to knowledge, obscurations of afflictions and the obscuration of knowledge. These two obscurations are totally purified without any remainder. And Chup refers to all the objects of knowledge without exception being totally understood or totally being totally known by the Buddha's holy mind. Yes.
출근전에 대인 리버도 소리. 그래서 출근전 대인 리버도 세다 손제 뭐말도 손 추비 롱진진 대인 리버레스 송요래. 네 가정다나 손제 연대 삼 네 출근 연대 삼연도 손제 연대 다에 뭐뭐바대 주념서 논반에 총발해서네 손제 추진 대외임에서 하는 거지 좀 봐봐. 나는 뭐마도 좀 신이지나 출근요 된 대외임에서 소야데 다 그래 다자도만 따져라 손에 에 주변이나 다자도만데 주념서 논반에 총발해서 야게 주대 손제 의미 손제야게 주 된냐면서 nomada 되는 성지바지. 다다자도 맞대만 네원도 제바이나 에는 주대 다 성지 빈지가 차도요래. 대형안에 그리고 와라나스는 공화돼서 뭐다. 주진고도고 주진고도고는 아디 주라 통남제인도 에는 때만 네원도 제비 주군조도 들어가래. 대가 나오지에는 바베겐도 들어가니 자겐도 군조도
So then the next portion talks about the teaching jewel, or the Dharma jewel, has the defining characteristic of arising from the Buddha jewel. So here we talk about the Buddha having achieved full enlightenment, and then teaching the Dharma, and also the Buddha's infinite quality. In the previous section, we talked about recalling the Buddha's qualities, the qualities of the Buddha jewel and the qualities of the Dharma jewel. So here when one talks about recalling the qualities, the infinite qualities of the Buddha jewel, all these infinite qualities came from the Buddha's practice of the Dharma. So therefore the Buddha is the fruit of the Dharma jewel. Buddha arises from the Dharma jewel. And then here, if we talk about the Dharma jewel arising from the Buddha jewel, here we talk, for example, of our founder Shakyamuni Buddha, who through having practiced the Dharma achieved full enlightenment. Then in the place of Varanasi, the deer park in Varanasi, then turning the wheel of Dharma, and then having established, so turning the wheel of Dharma to the five monks, then having established them upon the path of seeing, and thus the Dharma jewel arose in such a way. And then those beings having achieved such an Arya state, they themselves became the Sangha jewel. So hence these, the Dharma jewel and Sangha jewel arose in such a way as well.
So Buddha's called achieved by practicing Dharma. So that Dharma is the Dharma during the time of the previous Buddhas. And then from that perfectly qualified Buddha, then Dharma, that is the present time teaching.
So our founder Shakyamuni Buddha practiced the Dharma based upon the Dharma teachings of the previous Buddha. Then upon practicing that, then he attained full enlightenment. So the Dharma jewel is arose from that Dharma jewel. Yes.
Kendo kunjo shenji menga ki yang tabar dhubin senye jing isita shenji menga tomba sonje chumne nenge shu song te menga la tenne tanda toba yinza shenji menga ki yang tabar dhubin senye jing is sumbari.
Then the next line says, the community jewel, the Sangha jewel, has a defining characteristic of correct practice by means of personal instruction. The verse in Tibetan has the connotation of relying upon the instructions of others
So here, the instruction of personal instructions of others refers to the Dharma teachings that were given by the Buddha. So the Sangha Jewel is a characteristic of correctly practicing that. Yes.
challenge chebar kanre sena challenge chebane remba tara long ne bambo ba nyomo no ba no ba ngomba toba chebe challenge no sumare ta 대요 안에서 손제 좀 내는데 도자는 천년 간데선 저기 요르세나 논의 관 법이 거네 천년 저기 요르스 다 논의 관 보세나 네 주송해야 돼 송요래 뭐 세나 다 논다 거기 요래 되는 인도 그게 그래다 고비 좀 되네 고하는 인종지 아니 답이 뭐 돌고야 된대게 롱 뭐바지 저기 어제 전에 동대 나 죽은요 전에 가는 저기 어디서나 죽은 여기 그 동항에서 뽑아줘 봐 저기 어제 인자 단다 손재근 여대 잡동 봐 버려서 근데 막 도자나 다 납지장에 통하는 거지 근데 장우이도 죽은 저를 해서야 돼. 죽은 저게 그게 도자 고아동에서 그동안에 좁지 우이도 죽은 저. 그래서 죽은 저 인자다 죽은 저는 전에나요. 녀모도 동아 보고는 뭐 봐서 송이 버려. 다 견적은 저 원바 쪼바 집에 전에지 넣었어. 근데 원바 쪼바 집에 전에지 송이야 돼. 단다. 이게 조바죠. 다와제는 조바죠. 시행을 가나 신주 손제 정도 담주다 때문에도 대진주 선생님이 제와 나 대진주 세야죠. 근데 다 대진주 세나 가르세나 근데 손제 때문에 주냐면서 예 애는 저번 건데 저 근데 조바 인자 도자 신요 그게 뒤 고노는 뭐 탭지 쪼가 제제 그다 주점나 되고 통전도 삼네 semnakawa chigi yoyindu ngomba tobe tene jense sonimba.
So then the next section focuses upon the enlightened activities of each of the three jewels. Firstly, you talk about the Buddha having the enlightened activity of giving sermons. So the Buddha's way of benefiting sentient beings or the objects of to be tamed, the disciples, is through giving sermons on the verbal teachings, verbally giving sermons. So in this way, benefiting the disciples through these verbal teachings, the Buddha teaches the faults of cyclic existence and generates renunciation within the minds of disciples and establishes them within the state of liberation. And there is also then one talks about the enlightened activities of the Dharma jewel, which and the enlightened activities that are focusing upon eradication of afflictions and suffering. And so the Buddha is the teacher of refuge, but the actual refuge itself is the Dharma jewel. So the actual refuge, or that which protects the disciples from the sufferings of cyclic existence and that suffering of the lower realms, is the Dharma jewel. And then next we talk about the enlightened activity of the Sangha jewel, which is that of fostering enthusiasm. And the reason for saying that is that when we talk about the previous section on precious human rebirth, one talks about the 8 freedoms and the 10 endowments. Within that, one of the 10 endowments is that of the having beings who are entering into the teachings. So here, this refers to the practitioners. There are still practitioners who actually cultivate the practice of the teachings and then achieve realizations or achieve the results of practice. And this way to generate enthusiasm or joy within the other people who see them achieving such results. So this is the enlightened activity of the Sangha jewel.
간다 군조스 모로롱게 란지 간데임바다 제바카리임바 그 제발 더비 요다 요든 게 제발 때 시자지 다 늦은네 근데 그 무바 제동게 제발 내가 노제네 주바 무바 제다와진도 주바 제비 제발 다 된다서 이 말이 대라요 무베 제반에 rem마다 년고도 그 비신 벌지 봐도 먼저 잡아다 그 비신 벌지 봐도 준도 무분 현지 개인 로과나 그걸 그비 신벌 잡아오 드비 제반에 rem마다 줘봐도 rem로도 남겨지와 공부 줘봐도 주스 선생님 먼저 통목에 줘봐 잡아오 무슨 말이야 다 늦은 면에 군조스나 무바 제동게 제발 간대 열세나 나 손제 군조대 초지 니고이 요리 냠네 구바 침부 다 초비 요도 무바자와 제 근데 초고 좀 고남니 다버때 근데 뭔도 잡이 요리 삼네 구바 침부 고는 뭔도 자 냠도 심버자야 다 gendu 군조대 단다 람드빈 다로이 있네 송요와 주드빈 다로 년자다 년자대도 gendu 군조대 롱게 남루빈 다로 인자 추던 tum뱅우빈 현지든 로 바다 구버자와스 인다 추던 tum뱅우보세 인도다 추드비아다 내가 너희 대던 tum뱅이 손생 그 냠도 넣어줘야다 근데 그거는 냠분 로야라 구바치 먹고는 셴버자와 무버자와스 임버다 나 무버자와 나신이 주비 제발때 손제 건전 조진이 거기 열도 손에 줘봐야다 근데 좀로 고르름로 선도 일단 줘봐야 다보다 안에 손제 연내 줘야다 그래서 좀로 써야 되는 말이 근데 조금 좀 엉원도 잡아 셴만 넣으신 근데 내가 넣으신 냠선 내네 그래다 샬라송데 남조도 되는 거는 공부지 잡았지 나 gendu chundu mungu 현지 된 로바 무바 농시 추도 송성의 농조 토모 도도비야 임발다데 무비 제바는 두비 제바서 요지.
Then the next two sections talk about the distinction based on devotion towards the three jewels, as well as the distinctions based on practice. So here, when one talks about the previous two sections, we have talked about the nature of the three jewels, as well as their deeds, their enlightening activities. And now we talk about, for instance, of disciples, how to cultivate devotion and also practice with regards to the three jewels. And here the disciples, when they see how one relates to the Buddha jewel, when we talk about devotion, we talk about how one relates to the Buddha jewel, is that firstly one should see the Buddha jewel, one should appreciate the Buddha jewel as being an object of service, of veneration and worship. One should generate such forms of respect. And then towards the Dharma jewel, one should appreciate the Dharma jewel as an actual object of practice, an object that one should practice, one should achieve realizations of the Dharma jewel. Then with respect to the Sangha jewel, then one should see the Sangha jewel as practitioners that are support or help with us along the way of practice and help us along with our practice. So they are our companions, our supporters, along the spiritual path, path of Dharma practice. Therefore, one should, in this way, practice the Dharma in this way, by seeing also the Sangha jewel as supporters of one's practice. Then, when you talk about the distinctions based on practice, one should, having appreciated the Buddha as an object of veneration and service, one should make offerings of worship as well as serving the Buddha jewel. And through having appreciated the Dharma jewel as a teachings to be realized, one should apply with effort to practice the teachings, especially here Rinpoche mentions the cultivating the union of calm abiding and special insight. These two, applying effort within this area to achieve such realizations. And then having appreciated the Sangha jewel as an object of a support along the path. One should share, one should bond with this community, and then through the sharing of teaching and material goods, as mentioned here. Yes. So then the text goes on to say that one should recollect the qualities, the good qualities of each of the three jewels by reciting thus the Bhagavan. So here refers to the text called the Sutra of Recollecting the three jewels. So when one recites this sutra, then one recollects all the good qualities of each of the three jewels individually. And firstly, for example, when one recollects the qualities of the Buddha jewel, one recollects the Buddha as a being that is fully enlightened, one that is the teacher of the Dharma, and one who is a guide to the city of liberation, and so on and so forth. So recalling all these different qualities of the Buddha. And one recollects the qualities of the Dharma jewel, then one recollects the Dharma jewel as being virtuous, that which is virtuous in the beginning, the middle, and the end, and so on and so forth. So there are different qualities of the Dharma jewels. And also recollecting the qualities of the Sangha jewel. For example, as mentioned yesterday, the Sangha jewel is being naturally honest and pure in nature and so forth, and all these different qualities of the Sangha jewel. So by reciting this particular sutra, one performs a recollection of the qualities of each of the three jewels. Yes.
That's all I'm about to be cheaper. 제다 군조 som는 줘봐도 되지 아니나 손은 받으면 봐 용기하지 용기하래 때다 그게 열때 주도 건사 인스 체윤도 주군조서야 돼다 고된다 남된의 자인사 건사만 봐 주지 다 손제군조다 gendu군조서인데 손제군조다 저 너무 뭐가 보지 아닌다 근데 건사다 gendu군조대요 다 원하는 주도 때문에 간사지를 자원인도 간사지 근데 그래다 주군조라 초바전에 손은 배야 돼 주도 건사님들 주다 때문에 손은 배바래서 임말 대한민국다 gendu 건사를 때문에 손은 배바 산제를 다 gendu지 대양 손제 다다 도마시아도 다 지 나요 손제 쇼가지 다 gendu세야 돼 제동 법의 건사 탐제라는 gendu 쇼가 인도 이제 거야 돼 영어로 인나요 소수 제별 gendu에서 너반이시 반노시 gendu지 대세 돼야 되라 gen노시 놓은 거지 근데 인자 근데 손제 때문에 손은 배야 돼 건사 찍을 때 맞으냐 gendir 때는 손은 배야 돼 간사 몽볼 때는 손은 배야스 그때 손이 말이야.
Then the next section talks about the distinction based upon how they increase merit. So here, the disciples increase their merit by relying upon each of the three jewels as an object of merit. And here, there's a distinction between whether it is a teaching or it is an actual being. So the Dharma jewel in general refers to the realizations of the noble truth of cessation, as well as the noble truth of the path. So these
realizations constitute the actual Dharma jewel. So it is not an actual being. The Buddha, being a teacher of sermons or a giver of sermons, is himself therefore is considered an actual being. And the Sangha jewel, since they are helpers along the path, or cultivators of the Dharma jewel, so therefore they are also considered as actual beings. So with regards to the Buddha jewel and the Sangha jewel, then firstly the Sangha jewel, in general, any individual who has attained the state of an Arya or a noble being is considered a Sangha jewel. But in this particular section, it refers specifically to mainly to the four fully ordained monks who form the Sangha community. So therefore, when in regards to the Buddha jewel, one can increase merit based upon by relying upon one being, an individual fully enlightened being. And regards to the Sangha jewel, one relies upon many beings, which is, as mentioned before, at least four fully ordained monks forming the Sangha jewel.
Yes. Ordinary undeveloped Sangha community, which is four.
Yes. So for ordinary
undeveloped.
Ordinary undeveloped fully ordained monks to constitute the Sangha jewel. Yes.
이말이다. 파비 gonzala reda peno kanji 제인아요. reda pemba 제인아 소나바도 바토야다 노바 제인아 니바치 모용요레. 대가 노지에 소소지부 견디 게노젤 노바체라 peno 제인아요. 파비 gonzala peno 제바던 드라비 엔 peno도 니메요 인자 견디에서니 쇼고요.
So in general, if there were a noble being around, and we were to benefit the noble being, in return we receive great gain. We achieve great benefit or gain. And if we were to harm that noble being, the Arya being, then one would achieve great loss, or one would achieve great negativity. And so if towards the four ordinary, undeveloped, fully ordained monks that constitute the Sangha jewel, if one were to also benefit this community, then one would achieve the same benefit, achieve the same gain as one would if we were to do the same act to the realized or the Arya noble being. And if one were to do the same harm, one receives the same amount of loss or negativity as one would to do it to the Arya noble being. So therefore, these two are seen to be the same, whether it's an individual realized Arya noble being or it's for a fully ordained, ordinary, undeveloped, fully ordained monks. Yes.
이말다 소지부 게노 젤라 니 파비 gonzala 드라비 페노게 젠주르에 송바르마도 템파바 인스 송이요 말이. 이나요다 nguma 제레다 론도나 말뭐 제셔야 돼. 그게 직된 주제 된데 단매 되게. 얘는 남자들도 좋은게 된데 이제 멜라요 시다 마드미서 뭐. 단지대 주제 만원인데 멜라든베서로 차고 말아 멘트베서 뭐. 된데 차 되게 어려. 그래다고 아니 감제 도와선다 남자 좋지 로바인데 소르마세 쇼요르 그래서 남자 준조에서 좋으셔서 소르마세 근데 니만 제나네 론도름 붙이지 잡아진다 개노 som지 공소시 년분 좀 말해 다 옛날에 이제 연대시람 해봐라 다 개노 이제 좀 봐이나 네 법이 공사지 요새게 어려서 다 소르만의 연도면서 맞서 좀 쓰이나 쓸라버렸어.
So the four
fully ordained monks are considered to be equaling fields of merit, in terms with the Arya being, in terms of if we are to perform acts of benefit or harm towards these objects, and one receives the same amount of karma of loss and gain with regards to a noble being, Arya noble being as well. However, this does not say that these four fully ordained monks are considered to be Arya beings, even if they're four ordinary beings, but because of the constitution of these four fully ordained monks, then they become the same amount of merit field, as the Arya being, individual Arya being. So, when Rinpoche mentioned a story, at one point of time, this great practitioner, Longdo Lama Rinpoche, who was a great being himself and had absolutely no 8 worldly dharmas in his mind, and he was always dressed in very poor clothing, very clothing.
Very ragged clothes.
Very ragged, and torn. Ragged and torn clothing. And then so he somehow because of that, he didn't blend in with the rest. Okay? So he didn't blend in with the rest of the people. So so people gave him a nickname like rotten smell, rotten stinky something. So they called him this particular name. And one point in time he attended this Kamsen. No. Towa Kamsen. So Kamsen is the same Kamsen as Rinpoche. Towa Kamsen. And then so one point in time he was to 3 people. 3 other fully ordained monks.
So along this Lama Rinpoche, then there are 3 other monks. Rinpoche Matsiba Kidimba Shiro, Kidimba Shinda Shino, so
Kindu, Yetin Public on that. Penno yon Ravare, Konos Samna, Public on that Yogo. No. In the Toruman in Domis Party, Konos.
So it is said the whatever harm or or respect offering to the four community of the four members of the Sangha, it's equal. See the benefit or the loss again. See you receive by having offering or harm to the exalted the being, the Sangha. so these monks didn't understand that. So there's the Longdo Lama Rinpoche, who's called as Sutra. Longdo Lama Rinpoche, Sutra. Rotten. So the other 3 monks with this Longdo Lama Rinpoche. So these 3 other monks, they usually call nickname. The Loba is the name of the Kamsen. So rotten, the rotten Loba. So nickname was given rotten to the Longdo Lama Rinpoche by these other monks. So then so they understood as if there's a four member monk, then there must be one who is an Aryan being. This is what these monks believed. So then they thought the Loba rotten cannot be the Aryas, exalted, the Sangha must be 3 of us. must be one of us, This cannot be.
So actually, within those group of 4
amongst Longdo Lama Rinpoche was the one with the highest realization. He's generally considered to be an emanation of the great Marpa Lotsawa, the great translator Marpa Lotsawa. So he was the one with the highest realization. However, he appeared in a very raggedly, badly dressed fashion. So therefore, people gave him total disregard, totally disregarded him as being possibly an enlightened being. And so this one can refer to the section on devotion to a virtuous friend, whereby it says that one's own appearance is not definite, it's not certain. Yes.
Sonam Pebali Chibane, Consa Juyon, Sonam Chobeva, the Sonja to Gendine, Tomberdon the Chibana, Teo Consace, the Mombola, the Sonam Beva, the Gendin, the Geo. Redade Chebra Shibegon, the Jobs and Roasia, the sons and budget. I can be Jobs of Sonane, Sonja the Job, the Chula Jong, the Gendu, the Job, Drube, Trosumi, the Jobs and Roa, and do I just enter the Jumata Rose in Marida. Can be Jobs of Soma as it are. In the dark, Kunjo Som Jobs of Ken and on the countries and Lango Yorsena, Sonja Kunjo. Jab tomba bonimba, Ken and Baham Taco, Yore, and Jab tomba. That young Chukun George, Gendu Jab Bitru, Tross Zongo. Then that Sonja, then Jab tomba bonis, and the Sonja get Tava the Tanjima Drubzej Lam Martin, Lam tomba body chat. In the and that and the Jabtomabo can and Ham Tagos. And the Sonjum de Ronege and any chola Tabin Lam Tenji, Tabarona Rale, Shiver choose somebody. Not Tabin Lam Tengen, the chola tembaris. That Chonoga Drogo Reda, and Chonona Rale Redase, somebody. That they are no Jenny, Sonja La Jabtomabo Mugachi. That Jamune the carriage, Jamgene the carriage, and Chukunjo the Jabim.
Sorry, I was talking about one's own appearance just now, and actually Rinpoche was referring to one's own perception, that one's own perception of the teacher or another being is indefinite or uncertain. So then we move on to the...
So this is in the same connection of Marpa, so it's already enlightened being. So this story is also can be used in the section of good devotion practice that one's own appearance, there's nothing certainty that's true. So you can use both what appears and what the long element of how it appears outside and who he is not saying. So it can be the story can be applied for the good devotion and meditation practice.
So then we move on to the next section, which talks about going for refuge through commitment. So here one sees the Buddha as the teacher of refuge. The Buddha teaches the path to an omniscience as well as liberation. And and there's also a certain verse from the scriptures whereby the Buddha says, I am the teacher and I teach the path to you, the disciples, the path to liberation and omniscience. And by cultivating a path, you will achieve the results of liberation and omniscience. So this, and through that we can see that the Buddha is one should commit to the Buddha as a teacher of refuge. Whereas the actual refuge itself is the Dharma jewel. And the Dharma jewel is the actual refuge amongst the three jewels. And then the Sangha jewel is seen as existence along the path, existence of the practice of refuge. Yes.
Gendu Jabdu Tross, Sumikon, Jobs and Rosia, that Jab Truba Asia, Taba Tamjim Moduviake, Tro Gendu, Gendu, Tross, Zone, Chutus on Zenke, Nature and Ro, Reda, Migueta Sakison, no more chip, and Tendijan, Jab moved the drop of Yori, Tendinza, Jabdu Tross on Chiamari.
So the Sangha
Sangha jewels are seen as existence along the path. As mentioned before, the practice of refuge. When we talk about distinctions based on practice, we talked about cultivating a relationship with the Sangha jewel through sharing of teaching and material goods. And this way, one seeks the existence of the Sangha jewel along the path as one practices refuge. Yes.
nomba chibi tomba temba telo loba no chume shine kunju son khona ne japsen jinje tada do men dibi tomba so japsen men zimba o denin je chebar la imada jenu mema me se ya te ai cheba do nombe ne tomba da chenonge tembi chebar shine kunju son khona la japsen jinje 대동 mentimba 그래다 군조게 템벨 남도 mentimba 망게게 동바다 대동 mentimba 남 된데라 잡선 mentim바지 군조서 권한을 잡선 고기를 해서 근데 다 군조서 권한 잡선 진 옛날 잡선 mentim바 해야 돼 그게 그래다 자동가 원게 했잖아 이렇게 말봐 어느 가르에서나 senong tomba tembi chebar shichi. Ene tomba tembi chebar shibi gone ene nombe tomba te tomba yonda da temba yonda yamba shi chibi tomba temba te reta doja meloba ma yamba luwa cheba tende yamba shibi gone ene kunjo som japsen zi yenda japsen menzin batela le yenda mema japsen zi ba son imbar.
Then here, when one goes to refuge to the three jewels by refusing to acknowledge the other refuges. So here one goes to refuge by refusing to acknowledge other refuges. Means, first of all, understanding the differences in worth between Buddhist and non-Buddhist teachers, teachings, and disciples. And then one will uphold only the three jewels as your refuge. So through understanding the differences, by comparing the differences between the Buddhist teacher, the teachings, as well as the practicing community, then through understanding that, then generating a single-pointed faith or practice of refuge, holding only the three jewels as one's objects of refuge. So it is not sufficient to say that it's not sufficient to refuse to acknowledge other refuges merely through one's own attachment or anger, generating discrimination in such a way only through personal views. However, one should refuse to acknowledge other refuges through logic, through comparison of the worth, of Buddhist and non-Buddhist teachers as well as their teachings and disciples. And this way, when one has understood the perfectness, the perfection of the Buddhist teacher, of the teachings, the perfection of the practicing community, and through that, then one acknowledges the three jewels as one's sole refuge, and through seeing the faults of the non-Buddhist teachers, teachings, and disciples, seeing their faults in their tenets and the subjects that they expound within their teachings, seeing the deception and so forth, and this way refusing to acknowledge other refuges. So this is how one should go about doing it. Yes.
Not by, yes, what you said. Taking refuge only to the three jewel, three swine is not by attachment, not by discriminant or the encounter attachment, by understanding the qualities, the Lam Sangha, and discovering that the others do not have. The founder of the Buddha Dharma and the teaching Sangha.
임바다 돈베 제반에 손전에 좀메지 용된 조라 현재 돈만에 될 도과대 제반 봐도돼 다음에 돈바 신봉네 좀데 초나 다 잡지 대지리도 신나죠 좀 뭔가 용된데 임바다데 제반 봐도서 내야 돼 다 도전 주제에서 본이 요 임바래 나 도전 주제에서야 도만의 치료 받아 좀 치료병 개발 첨부 임바래 다 제에서는 논배된 받아쇼 근데 도마도 때문에 제발시네 제발도 이제는 제발도 법이 또 봐서는 공개 상황 임바래 근데 다 되는 간데서요잖아 다게는 동바시 치료병 동바 빠네 좀내 저런 잡선 로그인스 된 로그 좀돼 가르세나 저네 종지를 탐지세 용된지 탐지도 된 맞이래야 치료병 동반에 될 도대 용된 용서 맞아 종지를 몸보다 되게 된데 인자 아니 저도 잡선 로그 요새네 도바 좀 도바 된지 부가
So here one goes for refuge by refusing to acknowledge other refuges through knowing the distinctions between the Buddhist and non-Buddhist teachers, teachings, and other disciples. Firstly, the distinction of the teacher. It says here the Buddha is without fault and has perfected good qualities, but the teachers of other religions are the opposite of this. And here Lama Tsongkhapa quotes from this master called Utbata Siddhaswamin, his work which is the praise of the Exalted One. Here it says, having forsaken other teachers, I go to you for refuge, O Bhagavan. If someone should ask why, it is because you have no faults and possess all good qualities. So this particular master was originally a non-Buddhist, and he was a great scholar in another religion, and eventually he became a Buddhist and became proficient in the teachings. Then, having seen the good qualities of the Buddha and the teachings and the Sangha and so forth, then he composed this work called the Praise of the Exalted One. And it says here, having forsaken other teachers, I go to you for refuge, O Bhagavan. And if someone should ask why, it's because you possess all good qualities and no faults. So therefore the Buddha has exhausted or seized, abandoned all faults and possesses all good qualities, whereas the teachers of other religions, they possess faults and their qualities are not complete. Yes.
뭐지 용노도 저저저 나서 대다다는 공조도 나게 셈데 대발인 줄. 이 말이다. 손절 대비 점세 좀 뭔가는 용대 담지도 된 같은데 거네 대바적인도 대마세 아니 뭐디비 용노도 종용도 거나 그랬다. 그게 삼연도 거나 일단 요모 보야다. 된다게 탑매야 되게. 그게 시행도 거나 아니 녀모제요야 고바는 바 주야게 처음부터 도비서 매되게 된지지 요대요 말에 근데 중도 바 제바제 용도고는 다 손제 손다 아니 된 나야자는 면도 산에 사과되네 손제를 대바제 용도 서.
So then the further quotes from the text which says, the more I reflect on other non-Buddhist traditions, the greater becomes my faith or protector. So here this particular master expresses his faith in the Buddha, not only because of the qualities, not only through seeing the qualities of the Buddha as being free from faults and possessing all perfect in all good qualities, but also through comparing the teachings or the scriptures between the different traditions, and this way he generates great faith. Expresses his faith through having arrived at such a conclusion after comparison of the scriptures, because in other traditions, one does not find the methods for abandoning the various mental afflictions. It's not taught how to abandon the various mental afflictions, the delusions, and so forth. And also, on the contrary, the methods of religious practice that are being taught might also include methods of
generating delusions, increasing the delusions, increasing the mental afflictions, and also they do not teach a way to liberate oneself from some cyclic existence. They increase the tendencies, of cyclic existence. So therefore, in this way, through comparing the teachings, then it generates great faith towards the three jewels. Yes.
Nimarda, danda, nesumba nonjin, danda, repogi chulu, damanda, ngondo, tombotaya, anima, and the kaju saja, gilu sitavarwa. In the day, tamji, danda, Reta Thomas on the Jumne General, and the Sonja Ruyaga Tavima Chiwambare. In I operate Yongi, shed on the Shedu Della, Tamanda Momoyori. That then the non and the Jeremy son that Amanda Chad. Sonja Gata, Jagan Kibi, Tenjuta, Bugacom, and Revayo the king. Then the John Coroma Tayundu, Yon Yendala Yon Koacha Yunge. And Corsa, Namji Corsa, Yainza, Della Shunene, no drawing royal made thinking. Renyamner Mamma, that on Yaindu, the Lord show me so the Yinayo, something. Tendeji, attended Yazani, Jermison, Shebdu, Jay on the corner. Agenda Pagaju Yachi, Jermison and Jay and the Jermujala. They were talking the Jay those on you. That Gilubinona Yungiori, Giluba the Jemma Chulujinaga Noneo, and then the Sungi Yungiori.
So in Tibet, there were all these various traditions, spiritual traditions, such as those of Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya, and Gelug. So all these various traditions were actually taught. It has its sources. Also, Bonpo tradition. So all these traditions have their roots in the Buddha's teachings. The Buddha taught these different traditions, and therefore they also possess various methods for accomplishing Buddhahood. However, when one compares within these different traditions, the masters each tradition has produced have composed different treatises or different commentaries. And by comparing their works, one can see that Lama Tsongkhapa's works are truly extraordinary, because Lama Tsongkhapa's writings have he bases his writings upon the great treatises composed by the Pandits, the ancient Pandits of India, the Buddhist Pandits of India. And also through reading Lama Tsongkhapa's writings, one is able to understand the other teachings that are found in the other traditions. And also the viewpoint of his writings is not mistaken. And also whatever writings that Lama Tsongkhapa composes, the practice is able to fit within the minds of all different levels of practitioners, whether they are practitioners of a lesser ability or a greater capacity. There's always a teaching that is able to fit their minds. So when one reads the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa, his compositions and so forth, one is able to generate a special faith towards these teachings. And such forms of praises are found not only within, such praise is not heard only within the Gelugpa tradition, but also such praises made towards Lama Tsongkhapa's writings by masters outside of the Gelugpa tradition. Yes. So also two of Lama Tsongkhapa's writings, the Golden Rosary of Golden Rosary of Well-Spoken Advice.
eloquence, Golden Rosary of Eloquence, and the Uma Gombar of the Madhyamika, clarifying of intention, Buddha's intention. These two compositions by Lama Tsongkhapa have been used also within the curriculum of the other four traditions. Yes. The Golden Rosary of Eloquence is the commentary to the Abhidharma that is composed by Lama Tsongkhapa, and therefore is a commentary on the Prajnaparamita. And so the contents within this text are written in very clear fashion. And ornament to the clear realization. Abhisamaya sorry. So it's a commentary to Abhisamaya Lankara. And then therefore is a commentary to the Prajnaparamita. And it's very clear. And also it is being used by in the curriculum of other traditions. And some people have claimed the text to
some people who does not much, and they announce to these disciples or others that this is composed by their own traditional lama. But the way it's written is so wonderful, so profound. So therefore,
they proclaim as their own.
Very drawn to that. So some teachers who doesn't know much, and then they tell others it's written by one of their traditional lama.
Any yendagi yungnu da pui tombi tema noshi me dewa tendring riba yondagi gone ne tomba de chabsan ro tendring no yinbare da tomba kyommaji yonden zoba da temba chibadan phabaji yo re te yena yo chiruba namji ten thong tu yo maris 가르세나 코론속에 중당 엠비 좀 되게 아니 셈 라바함 셈줄 뒤에 정게는 좀 매배 담아줘 이제 두고요 말해서네 다 옛날에 그 년집에서 오는 된다서
So here in these two previous verses, it talks about going for refuge to the Buddha and abandoning non-Buddhist teachers because of seeing the qualities of the Buddha, possess perfect and all good qualities, and having abandoned all faults. And then also through reflecting upon the scriptures, the teachings, and then seeing that comparing the qualities and the faults, within the Buddhist and non-Buddhist teachings, and this way, using such proper logic to establish what is a fitting object of refuge, and however, from his side, being able to see the Buddha as being free of faults. I mean, here through proper logic, one has already established that the Buddha is free of faults and is perfect in all good qualities.
So teaching, also the teaching,
and also the teachings as well. However, this is not seen by the non-Buddhists, but seen by those who are the non-Buddhists, because the minds have been ruined by faulty tenets. Because of the minds being ruined by faulty tenets, they're unable to even see the Buddha as being a faultless teacher. So in this last verse, their minds are ruined by the faults of tenets devised by those who are not omniscient. Those whose minds are ruined cannot even see you, faultless teacher.
Obscured, defected.
Defected. Their minds are defected.
By the wrong view, by the wrong tenets.
Their minds are defected by the wrong tenets. So therefore, this last verse is an sort of like an expression of compassion towards such beings. Yes.
Don't be cheaper than the rest. Don't be cheaper. Le John says, "You don't know that you don't tell it over." That don't be cheaper can do yourself. Don't be cheaper name. Javet embane lam devin do deva thobat cheaper. Le tam devi demba ne tell it do. Lam yon kasi chimbo. That tell the ne driver yon da longan yon de goya. Attend the yours. It happened with Jimmy in the Danda Mutibata Zoga and the Danda Menga Temba Seata. And Sesam Kona Chomba Sea, Tendega Capchichi, and the Tabato we all say attend the Shigi. In that table, Menga Temba Seta, Kona Jengo, the jail, Twitchy, the mayor by son. Da don't say some yalo, and in a corner Mahachonchi. And one job at the Tajon the Petomna, and the Tabato we already say Asano. Lamno Casicimbo. At Takaja and the Jebas and Donomago, Jebendo again. And the Kaje saying Mate, Chebagi Jevanova, Monshikishi, you do that, tea and joke and Jumashiachi. That may Jevanoma the Chibagi to you the Tene, Jevalemba Re, Samne, Chibagi to you Sonchi. Perché tu non vede da ceta papa de papa no con te in becuci e ne zappo non niente mezzo sayata tende jenge e chumare da te in da lam deve deva toya de mares lam kasi chimbu gone ne deve do manyoya tende che ba yores
So then, so this way, going for refuge this way by seeing the distinction of the Buddha as being a being that is faultless and possessing perfect noble qualities. And next, by comparing the teachings, by seeing the distinction of the teachings between the Buddhist teachings and the non-Buddhist ones. And here one finds that in the Buddhist teachings, one attains the goal of bliss through a joyful path. The process of practice is a joyful one, and also the results are that of bliss. However, with regards to the non-Buddhist paths, those there are many that involve a great suffering in the process of cultivation, and also the result, the chief result is that of suffering as well, of non-bliss, non-joy. So therefore, for example, there are some beings who some paths that advocate what we call the practice of the 5 fires, whereby they light fires in the 5 directions, north, south, east, west of one's own physical body, as well as an additional fire on top of one's head. And so with these 5 fires burning around and above one's body, then advocating that this is the path to liberation. So it involves great hardship and suffering. And then there's also the practice of jumping on tridents. It is said in this particular school that if you were to leap onto a trident and if it were to pierce you right from the bottom of your feet all the way to the top of your crown, if this were to occur, then you would achieve liberation. Such forms of hardships, and these were advocated as ways to achieving liberation. And also there were some people, some practitioners who wandered around naked, physically not wearing clothes and so forth, thinking that because the teachings they followed advocated these as means to liberation. And some people also, because of having understood that their past lives as being those of rebirth of dogs and pigs. Huh? So then, oh, okay. So they do not possess the ability to see beyond that previous one lifetime. So therefore they think that to emulate, to reenact their habits of being a dog and a pig.
They are convinced that the gent is rebirth because of previous conduct of dog.
So because of having seen the rebirth prior to this one as that of like probably a pig or a dog, then I'm not possessing the omniscience or the knowledge to see beyond the rebirth beyond that. So thinking that the direct cause for this human rebirth in this life is because of having been a dog or a pig. And so therefore in this life they emulate the actions of dogs and pigs by eating filth and sleeping in
sleeping near the excrement.
Sleeping near the excrement. And eating filth, sleeping near excrement, and so forth, emulating such actions, thinking that these are the causes for them to achieve a human rebirth again once more in the future. So then likewise, so therefore in these paths, non-Buddhist paths, one can see that the actual process of cultivating the practice is a painful one, and also the results, the practice is hardship, and the results are not those of bliss or joy. That's
and this sim juya tende chedo lam deva la tene and deva toya yana jumne nela de devarshi gwa shya teyo lam deva la tene and then deva sonje komuni bayinza devarshi gwa shya imare.
So therefore, and also some people exert their bodies to ascetic practices. So they practice ascetic practices, undergoing great physical hardships and so forth, asceticism. So, however, thinking that through beating their bodies into submission, they would be able to achieve liberation from samsara. However, from the Buddhist viewpoint, the cause from samsara or cyclic existence is not the physical body, rather it is the mind, it is the afflictive emotions within the mind. So therefore, within the Buddhist path, the emphasis is that of working upon the mind, changing the mind, removing the mental afflictions, and not beating the body into submission through asceticism. So therefore, in the Buddhist path, since the mind is that which is to be changed, therefore the path is considered to be one of a joyful path. And so cultivating this way, one achieves the joyful or blissful results of omniscience and liberation. Yes.
Also, because of that, Buddha is called Davarashakpa, one who has gone to bliss.
Sugata.
Tomasonji jumne ne jimbaton yada. Ani kulu jimbaton symbol de nobjin sa ju ya so no. Tendege ne kasi mombo yore. Lula duma chicken wasena. Date okay. Lula dunga yo de kabla ni jimbaton mares. Neza dana ninji sama madava luna toma majasene kayo. 다 ninje samba shu chimbuji. Any no com nene, Jimbatomada, Somaji, Jimbatomani, Gassi Che Medio, Sem Comjures. So sort of Lojeva Tis and I knew Guditongere. In the day, Lam Devaro Chadi or
So some people may argue that within the Buddha's life deeds, one can see that previously when the Buddha was a Bodhisattva, he performed generosity of his physical body to harm givers like yakshas and cannibals and so forth as food. He performed generosity of his physical body as food. And people might see that as asceticism or austerities, bringing physical harm to the body. However, one should understand that within the teachings, it is mentioned that one should not perform such acts of generosity until one's mental state is fully ready, whereby one's compassion is strong enough, and one's mental compassion is strong enough, and when one's mind is fully accustomed, to such intense levels of compassion, that one can engage in such austerities, such as performing generosity of one's physical body. And if one's mind is, when one has reached such levels of compassion, then one is able to perform such generosity without experiencing much hardship. So therefore, it is considered, still considered a joyful path. No. No. So when they've reached such levels of compassion, it is said that to the Bodhisattva, giving away their physical body is no difference from giving away a dish of vegetables to them when they have reached such levels of compassion.
So, as just mentioned, the teachings, without the mind being pure, with the compassion taught, one should not give up one's own body. So therefore, Buddha did have strong compassion, and also Buddha is reaching that level where when you make charity, the body, no pain, simply make charity vegetable.
다 대답이 없는데 저기 너무 저기 제발시야다. 안에서 너무 제발시비고네. 좀 내내 잡소만이나 잠로 제반이나 남주 잠로래 다 쇼치와 고 대바 쇼치와지 용결와. 근데 된다가니 용데 그래서 용데 삼고요래.
So in this way, by knowing the distinctions between the different objects of refuge, as well as knowing the distinction between the Buddhist and the non-Buddhist objects of refuge, then this would make our refuge, our practice of refuge, even stronger. It reinforce our practice of refuge. Therefore, one needs to contemplate these distinctions, reflect upon these distinctions over and over again, as well as recollecting the qualities of the three jewels repetitively. Yes. So please apply whatever you've listened to actual practice. So in the Thanksgiving mandala offering on page 27, middle of page 27. Amen. Page 29. le joy 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 lama So, just want to say, the 2 days ago, the words where Lama Tsongkhapa says the analytical meditation, regarding that as is conceptualized thought, and then so that all the shortcomings of that stops blocks the collecting merits and the extensive merits, and then purifying the developments. So what I thought the translation is not exactly, even though it's mentioned here, conceptualized thought. After I checked, but I think that Dokpa is more superstitious thought. The way the Hashan is talking is a superstitious thought, not just conceptualized thought. Of course, also I checked the Rinpoche letter, the superstitious thought. It's not the normal conceptualized thought. Of course, anything that we discover, if it's not direct perception, it has to be conceptualized thought. So even realizing this, so you can understand from that point of view. And the translation of conceptual, the superstitious thought.
So then there's just this not very important, but the accurate divinator. So in the Anlam somewhere it says then here is accurate divinator, but here, the most sharp divinator, or the most sharp in the accuracy of definition. So one can do that. That's just one small point. The other one, when I was explaining, maybe I didn't make clear. The four intestines, or 4 lines of 4 intestines, the life and the Dharma, then the teacher. Then the life and Dharma is also the 2 things, the interpreted meaning, definite meaning, then real life and definite meaning from those 2. Then the definite meaning has, so here I didn't make clear at that time, the definite meaning has also 2. So the instead of entrusting to the consciousness of the sense organ, the 5 sense organ, instead of trusting on that, then trust on the conscious mind, because the wisdom realizing emptiness is the conscious of the mind. So that's one small thing that maybe didn't make clear. The trusting to the trusting definite meaning has 2. So that's that. So I think that's all.